then we get a lot of Denver.
Stockholm Syndrome is in full force. We saw a whole lot of Denver. I didn't mind.
Hey guys, welcome back to
Lifestyle of the Plebe and Nameless.
I'm Joan.
And I'm Coco.
We finally got to the part 1 finale of Money Heist.
So exciting! Episode 6.
This episode was such a thriller.
Yeah.
I loved it. I think it's my favorite episode so far.
Edge of my seat the whole time.
If you've been enjoying our videos so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We do lots of reaction videos.
And as always, it's free to subscribe.
We open up with the professor's background story finally.
Yeah, he's connected to the ex-husband somehow. That's so crazy.
That made me think back to the previous episode where the ex-husband was picking up his daughter. And I was like, ooh, maybe he could have planned that.
Right? I thought Joan was crazy to say that, but maybe he did call the dude up, be like, hey, it's a good day to go hang out with your daughter.
But he was recruited to come up with an economic plan to reunify the two countries. In the middle of that, he was disappointed with his plan and came up with this whole heist.
I'm very curious. At what point did he become the thief? Curiouser and curiouser.
But we go back to the chase.
We need to go back to the chase. That chase was a good chase.
The negotiator lady, she was behind the wheels chasing after the professor.
Whoa, I did not know she could drive like that. I was thinking, woman, you got a daughter at home and a mom at home. You need to be worried about your life.
I was more worried for the professor, though. I was like, that's a getaway car, and I don't know how much gas is left inside of there.
I was shocked he was driving like that. I was thinking, dude, they're gonna see your face. At one point, all these tomatoes splattered onto the windshield, and they were fortuitously placed because it blocked his face perfectly. And you can see the negotiator lady who is that? Who is that? He got lucky!
And he's so nice, because whenever he was driving, there was a farmer, and he was trying to purposely avoid him. He went off-road just to avoid him.
Well, he doesn't want more charges if he got caught for manslaughter. And then he goes and lights himself up on fire inside the car.
I was so confused at what he was doing. I was like, are you trying to suicide?
That was crazy.
And they timed it so well to where he lights it off and he drove it into the water just in time that it exploded. Mm-hmm. And he was able to get out.
I couldn't believe he got out of that one.
I know, I was like, ooh, that is so smart in the timing. Wow.
But this whole thing made the captain side with the negotiator lady again because he thought she was a mole. But after this car chase, he's like, okay, you can't be the mole because you were into it.
Back inside the Mint, we find out that it was Berlin who shot the cop.
Yeah.
And he shot him a couple of times.
More than a couple of times. That dude dead. Mm-hmm.
The professor was able to reconnect with the team again, and he learns of the situation, and somehow Berlin was able to get his place back on the team.
Yeah, because he saved everyone. But if it wasn't for him, Tokyo would be in doo-doo.
He killed the cop. You're not supposed to harm anyone.
You're not supposed to harm anyone inside the Mint. He wasn't supposed to be inside the Mint. He's an intruder. So I think that was an exception.
But it was surprising how he didn't ask to be the leader.
I was shocked too.
What type of strategy is he playing right here?
Right, what's his long game? Because that doesn't sound like Berlin. But Tokyo did learn her lesson now that you need to rule by fear. Quit being their friends, because this is what happened. They all turn on you.
The negotiator lady, she figures out that the heist people, they want to be Robin Hood. So they're really
into public opinion.
Yes.
And she wants to turn the tides on them and turn the public against them.
So she's using that as leverage. And she's like, well, let us go in to take footages of everyone and make sure that they're all alive. And then we'll give you the food. And I was surprised they agreed to let her come in and do all of that.
I guess they expected it. Because it's kind of standard in hostage situations. You need proof of life.
I thought it was funny whenever the Mint lady, she grabbed the necklace that the director had given her and she throws it onto the ground.
It definitely reminded me of Snowjob.
Whenever Yonro took on her necklace and threw it at the floor to Suho.
Same thing.
Berlin starts prepping the hostages.
Yeah. And then he reveals his identity to everyone.
I was shocked.
Berlin's I don't give an F. Y'all better stay quiet. Or snitches get stitches.
No funny business.
Yes.
But at the same time, I was like, wow, he's so, like, diplomatic about, like, this whole situation.
Yeah, he's a good leader.
As soon as Berlin said that, the director starts scheming again. He's like, oh my god, we need to take this opportunity. They're gonna come in. We gotta, like, pass them something.
Yeah. I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it, but I can't believe it.
And the ambassador girl, like, she was willingly doing the dirty work for him.
Of course, it's never him. He never gets his hand dirty. It's always someone else.
Whenever the negotiator comes in, it's funny, they brought out the hostages one by one to waste time.
Because they have all the time in the world. They need the time to
do.
print the money.
The ambassador girl comes up and she starts crying. She goes and touches her to, like, calm her down.
I was so confused. Because when you visit someone in prison, you can't go touch that person. There's a no touching rule.
There needs to be social distancing.
Exactly. 6 feet apart.
But the negotiator, she gets very, antsy. And she's like, bring out everyone at once.
I was surprised they went along with it. Because really, the suspects, they have the upper hand. They could have been like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Why were they letting her boss them around? If I was Berlin, I'd be like, no. This is how we're doing it.
They brought out everyone, and you could see them being live broadcasted outside. And they had, like, a whole ceremony going on.
Yes. Why did that have to happen? They could have just watched it at home. They didn't have to all show up and watch it outside all together on the big screen. Because, we all want a public cry. And then the professor shows up too. He could have watched it at home. He didn't have to be there.
Yeah, I was surprised at that too. I was like, that's risky.
The captain could have noticed him.
I felt like the captain's always been, like, thinking he's onto something. The negotiator lady, she starts, like, asking everyone, was there someone killed?
There were gunshots, right? And the director was like, no, it was target practice. Because that's what Berlin was telling everyone. But then Anne comes out and says, yes, they killed a cop. And then the director was like, yes, that's what it was.
He didn't want to be the first person to call it out.
He's so stupid. He's so lame.
And that's whenever they brought out the cop. I was so shocked that he was still alive.
Yes, when they revealed his face, that was good. They had me.
But then it makes sense because he had bulletproof vest.
So Berlin was telling the truth the whole time. They were just doing target practice. Because he was just shooting the guy in the chest with his bulletproof vest.
At that point, Berlin looked like a celebrity. Because, cameras on him, everyone's seeing him, and he's like, hey, this is me, this is my name.
Yes.
He's like, the cops are the ones that are putting everyone in danger.
Mm-hmm. They're so good at turning public opinion against the cops. And the cops played right into their hand.
And then that's whenever they started playing the footage of the cop running around in the mint.
To show, like, the public, this is the guy who put all y'all's people, family members, in danger.
That was so satisfying.
That was savage.
The negotiator lady, she left with, like, just nothing.
Speechless.
Wrapping up the last episode of part 1, we find out that Moscow, he's almost done with the digging.
Yeah, they hit dirt. I forgot about him.
Moscow's been working hard. Like, all this drama's been going on, and he's, like, doing the real work.
You don't know what's going on.
And then we get a lot of Denver.
Stockholm Syndrome is in full force. Yes, we saw a whole lot of Denver. I didn't mind.
Surprisingly, the negotiator lady, I feel like she does a really good job of separating work and life. Because she, like, goes back and starts drinking.
And binge drinks? Yes, that woman can drink. Those bottles are huge.
She goes back to the professor, and they have, like, a good huggy moment.
And then she pulls out a piece of paper.
And immediately she wakes up.
Somehow Anne was able to get that to her.
Yeah, I think it was just, like, a little piece that was teared off. Like, it didn't have her writing on it.
Yeah.
But she notices that it's, like, a new note. So she's like, ooh, they're printing money inside.
I'm telling you, Professor's girlfriend's smart. And the captain, he's onto the professor. He shows up at the cafe.
At that point, I was wondering, like, so now that he's outside of the task force, maybe he's going to use up more energy to, like, focus on the professor. Like, just follow his moves.
Yeah, maybe so. But this is why the professor shouldn't have kept his base in his house. This is why Rio was like, dude, why don't you have this stuff somewhere else?
I was surprised at, like, how much equipment he had.
Even the negotiator lady almost found all his stuff when she was at his house. So I don't think that was very smart. He has all that stuff.
Now that the North Korean captain has left the team, the professor, he won't be able to tap to know that the negotiator knows that they're printing money inside the mint.
Yeah. But what does it matter that they know? I mean, I don't see the big deal. What does it matter if it's money they printed or money they're stealing? It's still money.
I wonder what's going to happen to Berlin, if he's still going to make it out alive.
You think he's just going to die in there? Because he's sick and he gave away his ID?
Yeah. Technically. What is his plan B after that, you know?
Not get caught.
And then what's going to happen with Denver and then the mint lady? Are they going to have a future?
I don't know, but they're having fun right now.
The professor says that he feels guilty.
He's like trying to tell her to leave the job.
He loves her now.
That was crazy how he just falls in love with her.
It's like the opposite of Stockholm Syndrome, whatever you call it.
Oh, like the bad guy falling in love with the good guy. Gotcha.
I feel like overall, I really enjoyed watching part 1. It makes me want to watch the Spanish version.
Well, I have a question for you. Which side do you root for?
I root for the suspects.
See, you're rooting for the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
That's what I love about this show. Like, it blurs the lines of good and evil. It makes you root for the bad guys instead of wanting the good guys to win.
I feel like it has to do with the point of view, though. Because it starts out with a point of view from the suspects, and you're, like, sucked into their plan. And I'm like, ooh, I want their plan to succeed.
You want them to be bad.
Yes. That's a lot of money.
Well, these last 2 episodes definitely turned around the whole series for me. Because at first, I was really bored. Like, everything's the same as the Spain one. But these last 2 episodes, they have different things happening. And I really got sucked in.
What I really liked about it is just when you thought that one side has the upper hand, they turn the tables immediately.
Yeah.
If you stayed with us till this point, be sure to leave us a tomato emoji.
Man, those pieces of tomato splattered across the windshield in those specific spots, that's what saved the professor from being revealed.
If you enjoyed watching this video, please give us a thumbs up.
Hit that subscribe button to follow us for when part 2 comes out.
Ring that notification bell so you don't miss any updates from our channel.
You can also find us on Instagram at PLEB Nameless. We have lots of exclusive content for you there.
Thanks for watching. See you guys next time on Lifestyle of the Plebe and Nameless.
Bye!
Hey guys, welcome back to Lifestyle of the Plebe and Nameless. I'm Joan.
And I'm Coco.
Welcome back to...
Starting it again? We just did that.